Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. As it turns out, XRP does not have sufficient legal clarity for use in Ripple's product, specifically Liquidity Hub. And then you wonder what the implications are for on-demand liquidity, certainly in the United States anyway. And this perspective is coming from attorney Bill Morgan, and I find his argument highly persuasive. I think that he is correct. And since I'm paraphrasing here, I will give you the totality of what he stated, because I like him to speak in his own words, but I think he's knocking it out of the park here. And I find it fascinating because this story is actually expanding upon something that I happen to have published in a video literally just yesterday. I was talking about Liquidity Hub and how there were recently a couple stable coins added. And XRP is not in that product. Well, why not? XRP, we're told it has legal clarity, aren't we? We're told it has legal clarity. What gives there? And so I speculated something strikingly similar to what attorney Bill Morgan ended up saying a little bit later in the day. And I want to give you, since he's an actual attorney and I just play one on YouTube, I wanted to share with you exactly what he said because it adds additional clarity. Another thing I was speaking about, which I have additional news on, and we can actually state definitively what's going on here, is on-demand liquidity is no more, in name anyway. There's been a rebrand, and they're just effectively just referring to it as the cross-border payment system, and it's just understood XRP is the part that is to be used as a bridge currency. But this comes from a Ripple employee, so we were all speculating about it over the last couple days because Ripple's website no longer mentions on-demand liquidity anywhere that I could find it anyway. And so my speculation was that it's probably just a rebrand, but I'll give you the exact explanation from a Ripple employee who finally spoke out against this because the community's been wondering. So now I actually have confirmation on that and additional perspective from an attorney having to do with XRP and why it's not in Liquidity Hub. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Okay, so folks, obviously, and just to be clear, I am not of the stance that XRP itself does not have legal clarity. But that's different than Ripple being in litigation whether or not they have legal clarity for their specific products. And again, I'll get into the specifics, but I just wanted to be clear close to the beginning of the video. Of course, I believe XRP itself has legal clarity. It does, duh. That is not up for it's not up for debate. But what got people talking was the headline of this article. This is from yesterday from the Crypto Basics. Still no XRP as Ripple expands Liquidity Hub to Brazil and Australia, adds USDT and USDC. And so I'm just kind of setting the table here. I don't need to read the article. I covered this yesterday again. All you need to know is that Ripple's Liquidity Hub is expanding. XRP still not being used, but you've got Bitcoin in there, you've got ETH, you've got, there's several cryptocurrencies other than the stable coins. They just added USDT and USDC. I think Ethereum Classic's in there even, what the hell. But no sign of XRP, and we know that XRP is not in Liquidity Hub. Ripple told us before the legal clarity came down in July. It's because it didn't have legal clarity. That was the argument. That's what they stated. So they were supposed to reevaluate it and presumably add it once it got legal clarity, which, again, hasn't happened. But that doesn't mean that Ripple's doing something bad or wrong, or that they don't have confidence in XRP itself. And so let's jump into this latest article. Australian-based lawyer Bill Morgan explains why Ripple has not yet added XRP to Liquidity's Hub list of supported assets, despite the coin receiving legal clarity. And I also want to note this too, as far as Liquidity Hub is concerned, it's a price aggregator. So with Liquidity Hub transactions, Ripple is pairing up buyers with sellers. They're not actually doing the selling of any crypto asset themselves. They're not selling Bitcoin or ETH or any of these stable coins. It's the same as Kayak or Priceline or Google Flights, websites like those, pairing up a buyer with a seller. That's pretty much it. So you can get the best, you can see all the rates available, you can get quotes in real time, and then you can buy from all of them or one of them or none of them. Whatever you want to do. And so for that reason, actually, you would think perhaps, Ripple just playing the role of matchmaker. I mean, if they're not selling XRP themselves, they should be able to just plug it in, right? And me as a layperson, not an attorney, I was thinking that makes sense to me, but I'm also not an attorney. But that would open them up to, potential legal problems here. And so there was this post. There's a crypto geek writing, breaking, Ripple begins the use of XRP in Brazil and Australia for payment transactions. And that happens to not be true. No, nothing against crypto geek, but that isn't true. XRP is not being used in there. And attorney Bill Morgan corrected the record, and he did it tactfully. And which is, I think, is how we should handle this. If somebody gets stuff wrong, they don't become your enemy. It's just nice to be an adult and tactfully let people know if something is wrong. And so attorney Morgan wrote, incorrect, Liquidity Hub does not use XRP anywhere yet. And he's correct. So there we go. And we all get stuff wrong. I get stuff wrong, and I don't mind being told when I'm wrong either. It's just going to happen. I'm going to be wrong in the future. I just do my best to operate in good faith and get stuff right. XRP community member Micah responded and wrote, and they said XRP wasn't included because of legal BS. Well, now it's the only one with legal clarity, and they still haven't added it to the Liquidity Hub. And so this is where attorney Morgan really broke this down. And this happens to be what I was saying yesterday, what I thought was probably the case. And then later that evening, attorney Morgan happened to say pretty much the same thing. And so to me, this I mean, it's not a technical confirmation because it's not from Ripple, but he's an attorney. I think that this makes a ton of sense because even me not being an attorney, I was like, that's got to be it, right? Why else would they not do it? They're pro XRP. It's at the core of their business model. So here's what attorney Morgan had to say. XRP has clarity as not itself a security, but Ripple's use or sales does not have final clarity given the SEC's intent to appeal. If Ripple uses XRP in Liquidity Hub, can it or its customers be certain this will not attract SEC enforcement until the lawsuit and any appeal is finally resolved? I expect one day Ripple will add XRP, but is it surprising that Bitcoin, Ether, USDC, and USDT are in Liquidity Hub, given they are amongst the most liquid cryptos? Further, Ripple will be more responsive to the needs and demands of its shareholders and customers than XRP holders. That is hardly surprising, as the XRP community was happy to accept when Ripple argued that there was no common enterprise between XRP holders and Ripple. There are no rights against Ripple from the purchase of an XRP token, and Ripple has no legal obligation to XRP holders. We get a party, though, if we can make it to New York to celebrate that XRP was found by a court not to be a security. Yeah, so he's spot on. And Ripple owes nothing to us. The fact that they're doing something for the community in terms of throwing this party, which I'm sure you've all heard of by now, the proper party as it's become known, at the end of September, that's awesome. They're under no obligation to do anything for us, but they're doing that. So as far as what they're doing here, and this is in their legal best interest, cool. That's fine. I still think XRP is going to come here. I blame the SEC, not Ripple, for it not being listed. So anyway, just wanted to add some additional perspective there. And then we have this next thing I actually came across thanks to Crypto Eddie, so I wanted to give a shout out and credit to her. And she was reposting something from Ripple employee Emi Yoshikawa, and it reads as follows. So it's in Japanese, but it was translated by Google, and it reads as follows. Yes, ODL is a word that is difficult to understand at first glance for outsiders, so we have decided to consolidate it into the term Ripple payments. ODL still exists as a function. And so there you go. All the rumors about Ripple's not confident in XRP and ODL's dying, all that crap, none of it was true. Like I said yesterday, obviously it's not true. Wouldn't make any sense for that to be the case. But it is true that they're no longer using the term ODL, so we're going to have to phase that out as a community. But this is not the first rebrand. You know, the RippleNet used to have various components. There was XCurrent, the messaging portion, then XRapid, the settlement portion, and then XVIA, which was basically I believe it was the message. I'm going pulling from memory. XVIA, I believe, was just the messaging portion, but for corporates. I'm pretty sure that was it. But that hasn't been used in years and years and years anyway. So this isn't the first rebrand. So if they think this makes more sense, okay, cool. I don't really care as long as we can call it something so we all understand the underlying idea. Cool. So everything's fine. I just wanted to briefly mention on that as a follow-up. So we actually got some answers and additional perspective. This is coming from attorney Bill Morgan, and what he's saying makes all the sense in the world to me. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.